whatever this...
Alright, well, now it's happening. We're doing the power of the what's up, and I am immediately, oh shit, I feel sweaty. It's not cool. Well, it's cool today, but it's not cold, but also it's not hot, so it's in that very awkward position where it's like probably somewhere in the mid-70s in my room, but there's like no fucking airflow. So it's it's a little stuffy. And I've closed my window for now because we're recording. Not that we get a lot of people by our front door. But anyway, you guys don't care about that. What you care about is the what's up. So, let's see, where to begin? I suppose I should with the good news, everyone.
Good news, everyone.
I managed to disable enough default apps, which, audience, you should be careful doing. Your phone doesn't like it when you do that. But I figured that my phone's not going to have any problems if I turned off stuff like Google Docs and spreadsheets and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I was actually able to get my phone to not be an idiot and install Arknights.
Oh, booyah.
So, that crisis is averted. This revolution brought to you by me being assaulted, by Arknights ads on YouTube on my phone.
Yeah.
While I was just minding my own business, and they're like, Arknights. I'm like, alright, fuck, I'll check. Because I know, obviously, it was small enough to actually fit in there. It's just, do we just want to start me rambling about technology?
Yeah, I mean,
I got a little pent up, because the first thing is, and I got a couple of things, but the first thing is, storage is a lie.
Yeah.
On Google's Play Store page, because I checked this for, like, RAM and stuff, it says that Arknights needs 2 gigabytes of install space for storage. It does not. I think everybody said the final size is, like, 1.4. The install size is 1.1. So I don't know if Google Play is rounding there, but...
Actually, what I think it is it's the install file, and basically, it probably, because that's the thing, usually, the installer itself is some size. It's like when you have to do fucking, updates, you know, those big updates. Remember when we, on some phones, I think was it Girls Frontline? Yeah, where, they had this huge update file, but even though the update file was, big, it was just,
yeah, it was just a lot of assets they had to download, but wouldn't fit in.
Yeah, so it's
though
kind of
Girls
like
Frontline is actually still huge.
Yes, it is.
It's like over 4 gigs total, which is too much. It's too much Girls Frontline, but still. So there's a lot of like massaging the numbers.
Yeah.
I know this problem too. If you're one of our patrons, such as those listening now, you may have noticed that sometimes we make a Let's Talk episode that's too huge. But what actually is too huge is a very fine line, because Patreon says that you can upload up to 200 megabytes, but it's really more like 190. Because if you're like 192 or something, it might not let it go. And then I gotta find an alternate upload. I don't really know why. Sorry, I've just eaten some spicy wings and pizza, so my throat's probably a little active. I know my sinuses are clear. But yeah, next time Patreon like sends out a survey, I'm definitely gonna be like, hey, can you bump that up a little?
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, I like the 3-hour mark. It's just that we should probably stop talking now. But it's still awkward when I'm like, so you say 200, and the file says, like, 191, but you won't let me upload the file. What's up with that? I also, with, today. We'll say today, because that works for no matter your time reference. But for today's Let's Talk FGO, I had to trim the file size. I had to reduce it by 99% size and crop it because it was just slightly over YouTube's 2 MB mark in the rounding. And I'm just like, And both times Paint told me, oh, this is only 2 megabytes, but in the 100% size, YouTube was like, that's too big. 99%? Okay, that's fine. I'm like, oh god. And it's really funny sometimes, but also frustrating that like, there's all this imprecision in the sizes. And even then, I told people, like, because I got it to download, I was like, okay, but keep your fingers crossed, because I don't know if when this unpacks and installs, if it'll still fit.
Yeah.
But it has. So, that worked out. But, man, that's just, it's so goofy. And speaking of storage, I hate how devices, like phones especially, because phones is my problem issue right now. Tune into our last Let's Talk FGO to hear more about that. But, like, a phone will say, oh, the hard disk space on this is 16 gigs, and that's technically true, but 7.9 of that is taken up by your system files, which you can't fuck with.
Nope.
So, it's really more like 8, But obviously nobody wants to say you've only got 8 gigs of storage. This is one of those things that's kind of crystallized that, like, man, wow, storage is so bullshit. And it's so weird to me because I talked about this. I definitely talked about it in the pre-show. I don't know if I said it on mic, but it's super expensive. I think it was like $500. But there are 1 terabyte micro SD cards, right? You can fit a terabyte in the size of my thumbnail. What's with all this tiny storage bullshit in phones? Is it just a formatting thing?
Well, first off, you gotta remember, phones are more than just a storage device. There's a lot of hardware.
There is other stuff that goes in the components. I'm just thinking about, like, it's so tiny though. You know?
Yeah. Well,
and it could just be that demand hasn't caught up with tech. I do think that, at least when I was in college, for instance, people were not smart buyers of phones. I think every kid in a class I saw ever with a phone had like a crazy expensive iPhone, but almost assuredly they must have like signed like super long contracts with somebody so that they could get it cheap. But they were all busting out their crazy iPhones and whatnot. Me back here with my flip phone, because it's like, you don't need any of that stuff. This was pre-FGO and other like phone games and stuff, you know. So the flip phone did the phone part just fine, but I wonder if maybe that because we talked about this, that like phones are so ubiquitous, are people just not tech savvy about their phones? Is it just they're so important that nobody can afford to be discerning?
I don't know. Like I said, like, for one, like, we're in an age nowadays where like kids who are like between like, 6 to 9 years old are carrying around cell phones, playing on them and whatnot. And they kind of grow up with that kind of thing. It's like, I don't know, like, this might be more a dig into like what is financial responsibility and consumer practices. Cause like, I'm not gonna lie, like, before cause it depends, like, do you have to worry about money or not when you're making your purchases?
Oh yeah, that's true. Like, when I know people in this business who are, really big channels, and they're just like casually just saying like, oh, I bought a new iPhone, or I got a Google Pixel. Those are pretty expensive.
Yeah, so like, how much disposable income do you have to just throw at getting something or something new and shiny?
And I should say, they're expensive to me in context of my major hobbies, which is video games. So like $300, that's a fucking console right there, or most of one. Like, that's bullshit. For a phone? I could get a PlayStation for that much money, which is way better than my phone. Though, Sony, gotta be honest, you guys are a tech giant. I feel like there are Sony phones, right? They still make phones, don't they?
I don't know.
They must, don't they? I'm like, I don't know. They experimented so much with like PlayStation Portable and streaming and shit. I would feel like they should have more brand integration and either.
Well, I'm looking at. I just pulled up Sony Mobile here, so it's a website. Right. Oh, they have Xperia. They have the Xperia smartphones from Sony.
Oh, Xperia. Okay.
The Xperia 10. Let's see here. Hang on.
I'm just trying to think of like.
I'm gonna pull up some specs here on their latest one.
Sure, because to me, I'm thinking like, surely if you're a major electronics giant like Sony, you're one of the few companies in the console business, and also you make TVs and all that stuff. You have to do phones, right? Like, everybody's doing phones. Nintendo doesn't make phones, but even they have phone games, right? Like,
God damn it. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, listen to this shit. So the Xperia 10, which is the latest one, it has a almost full SIM capability. You can have single SIM, dual SIM, two SIM. Listen to this: memory and storage, 3 gigs RAMs, up to 512 gigabytes micro SD card.
Ooh. Well, I mean, SDs are pretty good.
Hang on, but let me check this price here real quick though.
Yeah, and I'm curious what the inherent storage is, but still the 3 gigs of RAM is the extra level. I found it hard to do some research onto.
Oh, okay, I found it. So its internal memory is 64 gigs.
Damn.
And it supports up to a 512 micro SD card.
That's good. And it's got like a 3.
Mm-hmm. I think mine. Let's see here. But let me look at the buy.
Oh, well, I mean, Axe, I would be okay if I could actually, like my last phone, if this current, and I've described my phone and stuff, if my current phone...
Wow, are you kidding?
What's up?
It's only $264.99 on Amazon.
That's not terrible. Maybe I'll get me a Sony phone someday.
Yeah, let's see. It says unlocked, so I'm not sure. It's oh, and it's unlocked and compatible with other. Ooh, shit! I might want this. I like Samsung. Don't get me fucking wrong, but I also like Sony.
No, like, and honestly, Sony. I don't think I've ever had a real problem with Sony hardware. Like, my PS3 lasted a very long time into its lifetime, and technically, it still turns on. It's my own fucking fault for keeping it in a cabinet where it's dusty. So it's, I assume it's Android. Everything is Android because Sony doesn't have a proprietary phone store.
Oh, Omega. While we're breathing, maybe you should talk about our patrons.
Oh yeah, let's see. We're a few minutes in. I should mention, since we're in a little bit of a breakdown, this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Aka Comics, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Nestor Flores, Rogue Robin, Sodasono424, and VideoGamer75. And that if you like what we do and want to see us do more, you should consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out, like buy new phones and computers and stuff.
Thank you. I wanted to open my monster.
Yeah, I was about to say, you just wanted to open your monster, didn't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just, it's really interesting that's actually, I mean, that is a little expensive, but that's not super expensive. I think we were looking at Google Pixels, and those were like $300, $400.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can find some tech reviews on it.
And honestly, like I said, like, I haven't really had huge problems with Sony technology. Like, my PS2 lasted a very long time into its lifespan, and I don't even know what the fucking problem with that is. Something probably just wore out in it. I mean, I've dropped a PS3 and bricked it before, but that's what they call an act of God.
Okay, so what I'm seeing right now about the Xperia 10 is it's average. It doesn't do anything spectacularly well, but it's something solid for what people want today.
I will definitely keep that brand in mind then.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see here. But yeah, like the Xperia brand, like it looks like there's a lot of Xperia brands. Yeah, so yeah, honestly, shit, I might like look at these later. Fuck, maybe I'll get so rich I can have 2 phones.
Oh shit, 2 phones. 2 phones, 2 tablets. But what about Tokyo Drift?
I don't know. Well, as I said, that's why I like having that's one of the main reasons I like my Samsung, is because a lot of my stuff is Samsung, so it's easy for them to talk to each other. If I wanted to, I can literally push a few buttons and throw me playing Arknights on my Samsung TV and be like, whatever.
Yeah, and that sort of stuff is always good. And Sony probably has the same stuff for Sony stuff, because they do TVs and whatnot. And like I said, I'm very curious why I haven't heard more about any attempts to like get PlayStation to integrate into mobile. But I don't know. Maybe Sony's just gun shy because of the Vita incident.
Yeah, as I said, they tried to do some, take your PlayStation games on their Vita or play your Vita games on the PlayStation, but because the Vita is kind of wiggly market-wise, I don't know if it really ever took off.
Yeah, sadly, the Vita is not a Switch.
Yeah.
Which is just the ultimate expression of that, and goddamn, the Switch is really convenient. I haven't played my Switch in a while because I'm mostly done with Pokemon and haven't wanted to buy something new for it.
Oh, shit! That reminds me, I lost a picture of it. You know what I saw working at Goodwill? Someone has got rid of a Pokemon Sword and Shield dual pack with a special download code.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was trying to figure out, I was like, why do people, and I actually found out what happened. It's not that people are necessarily tossing these things. No, Axe, don't fucking tell me what to do in my goddamn game. How many times do I have to tell you people I don't use guides?
I had to have that conversation earlier too. There were a lot of people talking about upcoming banners in Arknights, and I was just like, whatever. What happens.
Yeah.
And I linked a particular quote from Hellsing Abridged, which everyone should watch if they haven't, which was, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, no, it's fine. And I'm sure we will talk more about Arknights later.
But, so, what I found out about my job, because I work at Goodwill now, I work in their online sales department, sorting media and books and whatnot. It's that, not necessarily that people throw things out, but when people return things to Target, they don't necessarily put those things back on the shelf. Like, whether it's, been opened or unopened. No, they just throw it in a box and they sell it wholesale to Goodwill.
Oh, and I could see that too, because if it's like Target doesn't know where that thing's been.
Yeah, no. So
it left the ecosystem.
Yeah, so basically they just toss it into a box, sell it to Goodwill. Goodwill buys it, and then they go through it and try to resell all the items in it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. I actually found that real interesting. Because
that definitely answers your question, because you were concerned. You were very shook about the idea that people were just throwing out some of this shit. And I would be too, if I was like, what the fuck did you do that you bought Pokemon Sword and Shield double pack and were like, this has gotta go. I gotta donate this.
Yeah. So I was like, oh. Yeah, I don't know if it's like just Target, but that's like the example that I heard. So I was like, oh. Because basically what happens is when it gets returned, like they aren't going like they're like Target gets a lot of returns, apparently, for whatever reason. And instead of, dedicating man hours and, wages to people to sort through everything.
Also, like if it's complete, like every video game comes in like shrink wrap. So
yeah.
That's right there. That's a huge pain in the ass. Somebody'd have to shrink wrap it again and put a new label. No, fuck no.
No.
You kidding me?
So instead of, going through that, they just lump it all together, like sell it out, at some lump price. I don't know like exactly how they break it up. And then Goodwill picks it up and then it gets sorted through. We look at things and some of the stuff goes directly to Goodwill stores, but a lot of it, like, especially like video games and stuff, they just get sold online, like on Amazon. Did I tell you guys last week about how I found a PS1 copy of Parasite Eve 2?
I believe that was in your Goodwill stories, yes.
Yeah. So, actually, just yesterday, I actually went on Amazon and actually found under their listings for Parasite Eve 2. By the way, you can still buy brand new copies of that game for $299. Yeah. I went to the used ones and yeah, I found it listed under Tacoma Goodwill, but there was the copy. I'm like, I touched that copy. I'm buying it.
And there it is. Thus the circle begins.
Yeah. As I said, when I was talking about this earlier, I licked it there. No, I am not licking anything that is going through a Goodwill.
No, that's a bad idea.
That's a bad idea. But, I totally lost you. You derailed my train of thought with licking. What was I saying?
I don't know. You were talking about, like, maybe not that you were necessarily going to buy everything back, but, like...
Oh, yeah. There was, like... Because... Oh, yeah. People were talking about, like, how do people do this? And then, like, it's kind of a collector's mentality that you don't want to get rid of things. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. Because, like, we also saw, like, copies of Jack 1 and Jack 3 there. And I was like... Kingdom Hearts 2, I think it was. And I was like, technically, I can get, like, HD collections of these same games. And honestly, that's probably better.
Yeah.
And I was just like, but like there's other games here that you don't have remakes. I'm like, no, I want this copy, which is like Parasite Eve 2, which is a PS1 game from Squaresoft before it was Square Enix. Which basically,
somebody did comment that apparently they did do a quote unquote remaster of Persona 1. It just wasn't very different. Like maybe they just did a bulk re-release. Yeah, also, since we mentioned Kingdom Hearts, I should very briefly mention, this is not the episode where we talk about Remind. I've been very busy, and been thinking about my money situation. I haven't sat down to play it yet, and probably won't for another couple of days.
But,
hopefully we have a busy weekend.
Oh yeah, actually I should mention, this ain't my actual team. This is just the takeover, the auto-deploy team that's been saved. But, words. Yeah, so I was like...
He was like? What was he like? Will we ever know? Correct. He did ghost.
On me.
Oh, that's different. That's a whole new level of ghosting.
It is a whole... It doesn't... Like, basically, when you see my live go down, that's just... Discord decided to reset on me, and I don't know why. I'm confused. As I said, Lucky just got his first paycheck, and let's see. I spent $20 because I ordered Subway. That was the food I ate yesterday. I sent something... Reasons. Let's see here. What else did I buy? What the fuck else did I buy? Oh, yeah, I bought Parasite Eve 2, and I got the 7th volume of the light novel for that time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's all I bought, and I'm like, alright, okay, Lucky, time to slow down.
Though, related to that, they did officially announce that this fall they're going to make the second season of that, which means I'm going to catch up.
I'm
I
excited.
don't think I'm pretty sure I didn't watch all of the show. I liked it, though.
Yeah, Lotha's right. Having money can be a powerful thing, because I'm like, I have several $100s! Ah! It's terrifying.
Yeah, you can definitely feel that burn of like, oh shit, I have money now, I should spend it all, and then you end up without any money. I try to spend cautiously, which is probably why I haven't, like, just, like I said, bought Remind and sat on it. I'm like, let's not get it until I'm gonna use it. I did buy the DLC, the Season Pass for Ace Combat 7, but that's because I'm planning on using that.
Yeah.
Though, at this rate, I'm not gonna make that money back off Ace Combat 7, because Bandai Namco are jerks.
Did they fucking...
Yes, it's a video, too. They claim the cutscene specifically. But I'm like, I don't want to cut the cutscenes out of the stream. Then nobody will be able to understand what the fuck is going on. They barely understand as it is.
Yeah, I was ghosting super hard during the stream, and so I'm just coming into seeing jets going. I'm like, this is cool! Jets! I did not get to see the Plazer, though, which is the plane laser.
Yeah. Have I did any more plane laser? I don't know if I did any plane laser in part 2. I used the EML, the railgun pod. Yeah, if you want to see me do lots of cool stunts, there's a lot of the great missions are in part 2 of that. But yeah, I've been still wrestling with his technical difficulties.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have been streaming over the past week, and I twice I did it for about 3 hours. Ace Combat 7. It'll probably take 1 or 2 more streams to get done with it. But yeah, so I'm just having fun. It's like I said, I don't necessarily want to edit it down and, fuck with that. I made sure to encourage people last time and let them know that they can actually, donate to the video before the stream is finished and archived. They don't get their copyright juice in it. So you're allowed to donate, but I'm just having a blast with it. There's a couple people who stop by and talk about stuff, and I like to fly planes. So
whoosh, feel the burn.
It's one of those things. I don't ever want to say, oh man, I'm real good at Ace Combat, but I'm okay. I'm decent in multiplayer, even, and campaign stuff, and it's fun when you've got some experience, and, like I said, I already played through the game, but it was a while ago, so it's good to refresh. And there are several times where I'm like, what mission is next? Oh shit, it's this one. Get ready for this shit. Because there's a lot of fun missions. It's Ace Combat. It's known for its plain bullshit. Like, for instance, in part 2, there was one mission where the first half of the mission is you have to make a stealth night run through a canyon while dodging enemy searchlights until you get out, and you have an altitude limit and can't use any weapons.
That sounds like a lot of bullshit for flying a plane.
Yeah. I'll spoil it. I ate shit at least once. I just didn't brake hard and turn hard enough and just slammed into the canyon wall.
That is a giant bunny. I want it.
That is a huge bunny. But yeah, so I will continue with those, and then after that, next on my personal streaming schedule is I want to do, just because I've been thinking about it, I want to do Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age, just because I love that game so much. And I was thinking about playing it all over from the beginning again anyway, and I'm like, I could stream that. Physically, I know I can stream it because I've tested it, but also, I don't know, people might want to hang out. Final Fantasy and chill. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I still want to do Arknights and chill. Maybe I can get it to work now, because it seems like it's working on Discord.
Yes, Lucky is doing a lot of beta testing.
I'm still not
honestly,
sure
Luff, I don't know. That might be the kind of thing where I'm like, hey, chat, what do you want the blah to blah to be? Except Vaughn. Vaughn will always be a thief first, just because, why not?
Why not?
And Penel has to be some kind of mage. That's just, I don't know, maybe it'll be chat suggestions, but with me not handicapping myself, because that game can actually be hard, because you need to know what you're doing. Though I suppose if I was streaming, I don't know I don't know if I can stop myself from doing marks and stuff, though. Those are some of the funnest fights and coolest enemy designs. I don't know what I'll do yet. It's one of those things where, like we say, we're workshopping. Ace Combat 7's very, very easy. I do a bunch of missions, I ramble over the cutscenes, I make jokes about solitary and whatnot.
And dogs. Flying dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can clearly see in the shots that Trigger is a guy in the cockpit, but Trigger, the player character, is only ever called Trigger, his call sign, never speaks, and his symbol is a dog holding a revolver in its mouth. So I have carried on the personal joke that Trigger is just a plain flying dog.
I'm okay with this.
Trigger's just a good doggo who flies planes and kills enemies good. but yeah, so that's really easy. You do some missions, you fly some planes, you do the stuff. And because I've played the game a lot, allegedly. And actually in part 2, Loth, if you haven't caught up, I was pardoned. Fuck you very much. But yes, I did get thrown in a penal unit for maybe killing the former president once.
Whoopsie.
That's okay, we fixed it. You should. Like I said, there's a lot more plain bullshit in it. And I get... The problem with being competent at something means you get gutsy. So I did a couple of dumb things in the part 2 stream that I really shouldn't have gotten away with. But there's a lot of really fun missions.
I must close Amazon before I do something stupid. Excuse me.
As we like to say, Amazon is too much power for one man.
It is.
I'm gonna check if they put it back in stock. But my next game purchase is probably either Modern Warfare or maybe Kakarot, because I've been looking at it and like that game looks good. It sounds good. It's got a lot of the classic Japanese soundtrack in it. And it also looks like it has a lot of bullshit you can just waste your time doing.
That's the important bit.
Like, I've seen from Let's Plays and stuff that you can just fuck around and hang out with Piccolo and do side missions between fighting Raditz. And it's just like, that's great. That's adorable.
Driving cars! Well, not
yet, but eventually there will be a driving cars segment. But yeah. So I'm just like, that seems like a fun game to pick up sometime. Well, it is an RPG-based axe, so I bet you can do that if you start grinding, as you'll get your level up ridiculous. That'll be pretty fun. And it does have some really interesting feedback. Like, you can use... There's been images all over this on the internet, so you can use you can basically tap a button to do the key sense, and that's proportional. So, at stages, like, if you ride up and look at Vegeta and Nappa, they have pretty big auras. And then when you look at Frieza, he has, like, a huge aura. And then when you get to, like, look at Cell, he's, like, looking at the fucking sun. And it's like, that's just a great little diegetic interface. That's so cool. So it looks like the game is made with a lot of love, which is really interesting and neat.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about that with, like, game design, is that little bit of love in there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're just casually talking about gaming and stuff. We already talked about how storage is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And also just, like I said, there's just a lot of piece of shit devices. Maybe I'm just too sci-fi, but I'm like, it's 2020. What's with all the like I said, the 16 gigabytes of storage and the 1 gig of RAM? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because, like I said, phones are so integral that it's like, is this phone just for phone things, I guess?
Like, I guess what it boils down to is, like, no matter if it's digital or not, space is still space, and the more space you have, that
I think Lucky for Real ghosted because he like exploded.
I did explode. Sorry. But like smaller things, like no matter like you can put more space, you can put more storage into the same amount of space, but you require like smaller and smaller pieces. Miniaturization. Miniaturization is literally the backbone of our fucking technological progress.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: the smaller things, the smaller you make things, the more costly they get. So,
you need to efficientize the process. Though that does make me very curious about, like, how do they actually fit more storage space on an SD card? Because the format is the same, but the storage goes up. That would require me to do some research. I haven't really looked into that. I'm, like, passingly familiar with hardware and tech stuff, but I'm much better at concept than hard facts. It's the same with physics. Like, I know lots about physics concepts. I might still be able to explain to you quantum chromodynamics. You want me to do the math? Fuck no. Like, once you get into the hard technical aspect with numbers, I'm like, 2 + 2 is 4.
Yeah, I'm the same way with business and economics. But it's literally usually like companies will go for something that enough for what the consumer wants, but not so much that they're going to be basically burning a hole in their pocket, putting on these nifty features. Because, as I said, like, companies need to basically hit a price that, people are going to be willing to buy and reach, like, enough of a market to do so. But, if they're, like, shoving, like, every single bit of hardware tech into it, they're not going to take losses trying to sell it, or they're only going to be able to sell a few to the, the 1% or whatnot.
Right, and sometimes that's where the marketing part comes in. you can get more if you market your product as premium or elite or deluxe in some way.
Yeah.
Or you can get more sales if you market it as economical. It's like, hey, this doesn't do a lot, but it's not super expensive. It'll get your work done.
Yeah, but as I said, like how they draw that line, I'm not sure. As I said, that's numbers.
And it can just be a culture thing. Like, I do know that tech is constantly growing, and in ways people are not prepared for. I don't think 3D printing has quite taken off, but like that's gonna once that technology really hits like consumer level, like in the same way that like, well, heck, even smartphones now, like, you know, it used to be that like owning a Palm Pilot or a BlackBerry was like a weird business thing, you know.
EDA.
And 3D printing is usually just a hobbyist thing now, but once that hits the level of just, oh yeah, no, it's like $100 to own a 3D printer in your home, and you can do all kinds of dumb stuff with it. Like, once it reaches mass consumer levels, shit's gonna get weird. Just, like, that old ad about you wouldn't download a car, that's gonna be an actual honest-to-God problem that I don't know if anybody's prepared to deal with. And yeah, sure, your casual will be able to print a car, but somebody will be able to put, like, a metal extruding printer or carbon fiber in their garage and print a car, and it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be, we live in interesting times. Yeah, basically. People are showing lots of stuff in Gacha games, so I'm gonna mute that channel temporarily. Still wish there was a gray area between 1 hour and 8 hours.
Okay, so I'm getting infuriated at Discord right now because I don't even ghost this fast, this often.
No, so I'm not sure what that problem is. It may be time to start a Googling.
Yeah, so hang on. But first, I'm going to just shut down Discord, reset it, and see what's up. So I will be right back.
Pause for this before you die again. We can start talking about Arknights. Oh, I usually weigh games on the scale based on FGO, which is FGO has a very compact install size.
Yeah.
It's sub 1 gig, which I love. It'll get bigger in a couple of years when we add the voice pack to all the Valentines, but I don't know how much bigger. Because even if, like, audio for, like, Girls Frontline or Azure Lane is, like, a big chunk of the game, it's not that huge, you know? So I don't know what the Valentine's.
There's a lot of voice in FGO. Like, it's
there's already a decent chunk of audio. So I do know it will be a sizable update, but I don't know how sizable. Also, don't you just hate it when you're at, like, 28 AP, and you're like, damn, dude, I gotta wait for, like, 10 minutes to get 2 AP back so I can spend a single bronze apple as opposed to 2? Maybe I'll go look some servants up. But yeah, so I appreciate that, like I said, Arknights installed very compactly. But Lucky does seem to be having some problems with the streaming and capturing of it, which I don't, necessarily know why that would be.
Yeah, like, I haven't been able to find out anything so far of
I didn't watch it because that was before before I knew whether or not I wanted to play. I know Voice streamed it for a little bit when it first launched, but he hasn't done it since. I don't know, I don't really see a lot of people. I know lots of people are posting videos about opinions and strategies and guides and meta, but gotta be honest, we don't watch that content.
Nope.
Like with Girls Frontline specifically, I would occasionally look up if I was trying to, 3-star a map, get all the medals, I would, specifically look up, because usually, like we said, Girls Frontline can be very finicky. Some maps have a very specific way they want you to say, do the S rank or whatever for the gold medal. But I would just look those up on, GFL Guide or whatever. Mostly because, being a YouTuber, I understand the YouTuber playbook, and I don't know if I can... There are some video, people do video tutorials, I'm like, I just can't watch this. They're doing it too much to script, and I'm just, no. If you ever ask yourself, why is this video mysteriously 10 minutes long? That's in the YouTuber playbook. But yeah, so, Arknights. It's a game. It's a fun game.
Yes, it is.
Like I said, the squares just tickle something in me. I don't know why, but I like squares, and I like units with squares of attacks and stuff, and I'm just like, good, yes, this pleases me. I'm still in chapter 0. I'm not going super hard because I know Setsubun is coming up and I have a lot of leveling to do, but I've been playing it off and on in my downtime since yesterday night. And I'm on 07 right now, I think. 07.
Oh, that's why I can't find it. Fuck.
What's up?
Oh, no, I'm looking at quests I gotta do on Monster Hunter. I'm playing Monster Hunter while I'm doing farming, because, like, Omega, I'm not actually doing anything. This is auto-deploy. I just push a button and it does everything for me.
Alright, I'm not actually watching you stream right now, because I'm like, I don't know if the audio comes across, and I don't want it to be weird for the listeners.
Yeah, but I'm playing, like, the Arknights stream is up, but I'm using auto-deploy, which basically just lets me just hit start and it does everything for me.
I don't know if the game's gotten to a point where it's taught me how to do that yet.
Mm.
It's fine. The tutorial process seems a little slow, but that's okay, because it's gradual, and sometimes these games with all their systems can be overwhelming, so it's kind of nice to be like a slow burn, like, oh, hey, you should probably learn to level up your units, and like, okay, and then I spend a decent chunk leveling up my squad and stuff. That's
squad!
Cool. And then it's like, oh, hey, here's how you level up skills. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll maybe level up a skill or two.
Yeah, they don't... Well, I do kind of like that they don't give you everything at once. They give you a little bit of story, a little bit of combat, a little bit of tutorial. Then they give you some free units, and they do it all over again.
Man, okay. Ax asked me who my first 6-star was. So I'm gonna type it, because I'm like, hold on, how do I pronounce this name?
Is it XSI?
Yes, XCI. Yeah. There's too many vowels in there. What the fuck?
Yeah, I think you forgot.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't need to know that, but I assume since she's 6 stars, she's cool, but she's cool.
Apple pie angel!
That's all I need to know. So I'm like, alright, that's cool.
Apple pie.
That is something I appreciate, is like, especially when you've got rank inflation where they go all the way up to 6 stars and whatever. It's nice when the high level units are all just generally okay. Because like I said before, I didn't bother with any kind of like re-rolling or nothing. I'm not like looking at any tier charts. Yeah, we'll see there. Like I said, I'm only on 07 working through all the tutorials and stuff. I do want to say, the story's very interesting, because like I generally knew some of the kind of setup and stuff, and like I said, I watched Lucky stream some of it last week and like saw some of the aesthetics. So it's kind of like, I would say almost low-key urban fantasy, because it's like they just very casually throw out, oh shit, the casters do magic stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, sure, okay. I have amnesia, so that's just a great excuse. Yeah, I'm the doctor. I don't remember fucking shit, other than apparently I remember how to do tactics with fucking squares. I understand my grid math, so. Well, actually, Loth, that's the thing. That's just a Japanese thing. Art's Quick Buster. That's not an FGO thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can name at least one explicit reference. If you've never seen anybody play Dragon Ball Fusions, which is a really cool RPG for the 3DS, all about fusing Dragon Ball characters, they have like 3 types for like the Fire Emblem style triangle shit.
Mm-hmm.
Rock, paper, scissors. Power, tech, and speed. They each have a special, just generic attack, which is called Quick Rush, Arts Rush, Buster Rush. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, I was watching, Team 4-Star has a really good playthrough of it. I was just watching them play it again, just for funsies to fill in the time. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. I guess that's just a Japanese thing.
Oh yeah, like, if you play, like, any, like, Tales games, usually, like, they'll, whatever, like, their skills card, or sometimes their magic, they'll just call that arts as well.
Yeah,
yep,
so.
With an E.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's just a Japanese trope that they just like words like "busta."
They usually will scream it in English as well,
and just work that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's probably more economical. Audience mid show update. That's Drake at 90.
Oh yeah,
I'm really enjoying my leveling here. But yeah, so but I was like, it's just kind of. I appreciate that they genuinely treat you like a character who doesn't remember anything, and but they also aren't like, oh, we need to explain everything to the doctor. It's like, yeah, we just do magic and shit. I'm like, okay. It's very interesting, because like I said, it's like a low-key urban fantasy. Everybody's very tactical, at least right now, so far in the story.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's all like tactical and stuff, but also it's got almost like the hallmarks of like an epidemic movie or a zombie. story.
Yep.
So it's like, they've done some very interesting genre mismatches, which I like.
Well, that's the
like,
thing. Like, the magic is kind of tied into the infection. Like,
well, yeah, I assumed because the way the units work, but also because like they said I was a neurologist, so I'm like, so is it psychic powers? Is it secretly psychic magic? There's a D&D joke in there somewhere.
psionics.
But yeah, so that's also a really funny thing. They're like, you're a brilliant neurosurgeon, but also you're our commander. But because you're a brilliant neurosurgeon, we get to call you Doctor instead of Shiki-kan. Like, I almost felt like it was a branding thing. Though, like I said, it also makes sense because, as I pointed out, part of this is totally just disease movie tropes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really interesting to see this, and I've said this before, I really appreciate stylization, and if something is really stylized and has a really interesting genre or blend of genre elements, I will take to that very fast and just be like, oh, that's neat. So, like, aesthetically, I was like, okay, Arknights looks kind of cool. Now, actually, pretty like, I don't know if I want to say it's, like, the story is cool, but it's certainly interesting, which is something you want.
Yeah, I can't really say it's cool. Like, I liked the scene of you trying to get out of the city. You aren't that super far, so you aren't there, but, it develops, and I'm just like, no, this is great.
Well, yeah, and right now we're still just on the run from Reunion, who are just, like, constantly throwing smoke at people. Well, yeah, like, the characters have casually mentioned the cities are mobile, and I know that already from, like, Lucky talking about it, but they haven't really shown that to me yet. That's not, like, visually come up. I'm still wandering around a busted-ass cityscape, constantly running into people who remember me, but I don't remember them. But it's alright. I finally understand what the context of Rhodes Island is, because I was like, So I'll say this, the Arknights characters have a lot of weird names. They've done a lot of weird name stuff.
Well, they're all code names. You can actually look at their real names in their profile.
Right, and some people have, like, real names and so on display, but it's, like, it's kind of interesting. Like,
Damn it.
Like you mentioned him explicitly, and I think it was in the recording of last episode, Rangers, who's just a dragon man. Who looks pretty neat, but yeah, so there's a lot of those little things where it's just like, some of this is silly, so it's like, I wondered, like, is this character called Rhodes Island? No, it's, Amiya's just, that she's just wearing the logo. And I don't really necessarily get all the different, like, sub-factions. Is that just, I'm wondering to myself, is this just a gacha thing where we have to, like, sub-faction everybody? But I know that, like, like, some of the operators are from Black Steel, some of them are from Rhodes Island, stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't quite get what the division is, but it's interesting to see them have all this internal division and kind of speciation. Trust me, I know all about arbitrary internal divisions. How long is Jinsekai? I don't even know. It's really long. I've completely finished all the setting description, all the geography. And I've been trying to work my way through actually formatting all the specialization trees, but I'm stuck up on universal specializations because twice now I've had a copy-paste problem where I failed to paste it and had to basically erased all my work for like twice over.
Oh no.
I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this for today. Because it's just a lot of make work of copy and paste and typing. But yeah, so Arknights overall, the aesthetics is just, it's really interesting. And I don't know much about the world yet, but at least it makes sense, Because it's like, you're amnesiac. Like, if I'm trying to, it's been a long, long time since I first booted up Girls Frontline. But I'm trying to remember, did they do a lot of As You Know? I think they might not even have, because there were a lot of stuff about the Girls Frontline setting that I was still like, what the fuck? Wait? When were the aliens?
They still haven't explained everything in Girls Frontline.
Yeah, so I think Girls Frontline kind of takes it for granted that because the commander is a guy in the universe, or a girl, you could be both, or a question mark, it's like they just don't have to explain everything to you, and they can explain it when it comes up. Mm-hmm. And as we've talked about, Azure Lane is just weird. The first episode of the anime explained the central conflict of the game way better than the game did. So I appreciate at least that Arknights it has at least it seems like fairly in-depth storytelling and has a decent rate of exposition, but has a logical explanation, even if it's the classic cliche, that, like, you're just, you know, you have amnesia, so you don't remember all this stuff, but you've got your skills, so... Well, no, we're talking about Azure Lane.
Yeah.
Which does, yes, the story is a replay of the Pacific, because it's a big deal. And that's kind of how the anime starts, too. It's not explicitly Pearl Harbor, but they're mimicking the Pearl Harbor attack. I think that's just so that they have a guideline.
Yeah. But it's a weird guideline. It's a really weird guideline. Like, honestly, like, when I think of Arknights, it kind of reminds, like, story-wise, it kind of really reminds me of Girls Frontline, where things are definitely dark, and things are probably not okay, but you gotta make things happen.
Mm-hmm. There's also some weird neural stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's how you access your home base, is like, Amiya's like, yo, doctor, we're gonna plug you into the neural network. And
yeah, the
like,
PRTS, I think it was.
Something like that. It's some of that combination of those letters. And I'm still very new, so, like, Lucky can probably talk more about, like, oh, he's having fun with specific units or specific strategies or whatever. I'm mostly just like, I think this works. Me move unit to square. This person has more stars and is cool.
It's like, I'm trying to figure out how to do recruitment better, because, did I talk about recruitment with you, Omega?
Yeah, I think you showed it to me. So there's two ways to get more units in Arknights. Ugh, I blinked there a little. There's the Gacha system, which is headhunting.
Yep.
So that's just, you spend premium currency, you get 1/10 units.
Axe, this is what we mean why you're a meme, because you're literally not listening to what people say and keep saying the same thing.
I also don't know what that means. But, so, that's, headhunting is the Gacha system, where you just roll and you get some units. But
yes,
then you talked about it, recruiting. I chuckle.
Axe, this is like, I gotta yell at Axe here for a second.
Go for it.
Axe, yes, I say I'm not gonna look it up. I'm not gonna look it up. So why are you telling me to look it up? Please. How does that compute?
Though I am reminded, I think I have a program somewhere, but somebody made a card counter for FGO that I don't bother playing with because it's way too much effort.
Axe,
And I remember, I think somebody in the Reddit thread was like, but you can just count cards, and it was like, yes, I can literally remember all my FGO cards.
Mm-hmm. And also, Omega has said he's not he's not giving a fuck about it.
Nah, it's whatever. I'll figure it out. Yeah. It's fine. It's not a big deal. But so what we were going to say is recruitment is the second option, which is kind of like construction.
Yeah. It's kind of.
You spend a little bit of cash, you set a timer, and you pick some tags so you can get some combinations. Yep. It's funny. I guess that Hibiscus is just a unit who shows up a lot.
Well, like, here's the thing I found out. Like, so basically, you set your timer, and your timer can set your rarity. Like, because usually you start with, like, what? 2 to 5? Oh, no.
Yeah, 1 hour is all the way from 2 to 5, and they explicitly say 6 stars will not show up in this.
Yeah, you have to get a specific tag called Top Operator. You get a Top Operator tag, as long as that tag has not faded, you'll get a 6-star. Because that's the thing, every unit has specific tags to them, so if you get combinations of tags and they stay to the end, you can almost guarantee certain units. Which is really cool.
Right. That's a cool, in-depth thing. But also, you still gotta figure out some of that stuff and figure out what combos you want and whatever.
Yeah.
And if you actually care that much about the specific combo packs. And I could see you could, because it is a unit-based tactical game. And you have a decent amount of squad slots.
Oh, yeah.
So you can build decent teams. So you might go specifically, gee, I really want the combo that I need an AoE nuker.
Well, you say you usually need all 12, but your deployment is only like, what, 8 to 10 or something? There's been a lot of times where I'm just like, well, I guess these two ain't going out, and we're doing okay.
Oh, I'm probably not going to rename my squad names.
It's a mission.
Oh, really? Okay, fine. I'll rename them.
I think it's a pin board mission. It's like,
whatever. Anyway, so like there is some tactical nuance, but yeah, the recruiting is basically you set a timer. The higher you go up the timer, you will cut out low rarity, lower rarities and refocus them, and you can get them. And they've got a quick contract thing to get a quick unlock, just like every other gacha game.
Yep.
But technically, it's not premium, so you can always try and get specific combos to recruit some people, which is neat. But specifically, I mentioned Hibiscus because they give you one for free. She's your first healer. And I've gotten 2 more, including, I believe, my second one was out of the mandatory recruitment they make you do.
They always do that.
So it's like, oh, gee, hi, Hibiscus. I guess you're okay. I think she's still the only healer I've got, but I haven't, other than free units, and I did one 10 spin to start, which is because they've got the special guaranteed one, like your first intro, and then after you use them all up, it reverts to normal. So that's the only one I've got. But they, at least, I also appreciate and some games do it differently, but like I suppose the Azure Lane or Girls Frontline equivalent is just all the 2 stars that are mostly junk you get for just punching units, fighting enemies on the map. And FGO has the FP summon that'll, fill out your roster really quick with bronzes and maybe silvers. But I appreciate that Arknights, as part of its kind of slow drip tutorial is like, and here's another unit, and here's another unit. And maybe you've got a better one of them already, but you might not, so here's some stuff.
Yeah!
And also, they are kind of tower defense-esque maps, so some of them can be very broad, like they've been like, and here's what you do when there's 2 spots the enemies come from, or, oh no, there's 1 spot where just drones come out of. And they're still doing they're still usually doing the tutorial type thing that like, oh golly gee, there's gonna be heavy armor units on this map, make sure to include a caster. I'm like, okay.
Actually, I have to pay attention to that because I've gotten fucked over a little time.
Well, yeah, I see that there's like an intel tab that usually doesn't tell me anything. So I'm like, I don't know if they're in future when you're going to stop holding my hand, if that's going to be reliable, or if it's just going to be like, have diversity in your unit, which I do by default. I was like, so I shouldn't just load up with swords, right? I should actually have some variety in here? Okay.
Yeah.
And they did make sure to tell you that ranged units are the backbone of your squad, which makes sense because they're very versatile with all that area. But yeah, so I'm mostly just like, okay, make sure to slow roll. And it has some interesting diversity of units. I appreciate that some of them are like, well, yeah, Axe just mentioned that units have some variants. And I think you showed this off on the stream to me which would have been audio only to our listeners. But for instance, I think you brought up Doberman.
Yeah.
Because she has an extra range tile because she has a chain thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the units I have, is it no? It might be a different one. I have somebody who is an attacker or defender. I know, I think it's they're a melee type, but they have a hammer, so they're AoE. They attack all units they're blocking.
Well, not all units, but they have like an increased limit.
Well, yeah, I think they have. I think specifically she says she attacks all units she's blocking, but she can only block like 2 or 3. Yeah, I think it's Savage. But yeah, so all the units that they can block, they will attack, as opposed to attacking them one at a time. Different stuff, different people have different things. I think I have a defender who has a gun, so she has like an extra tile of attack.
That's Liskarm. I love her.
Yeah, it's that one. Listen, we're already bad at names, and I've already mentioned the names of these guys are weird, so it's gonna be hard for a little bit for people's names. There may often be descriptions like the purple one with the horns, and the red one with the horns and the spear. But let's see, what are all the? Do you know since I'm not looking at it, do you know all the classes off the top of your head, or can you find them?
I can name most of them. It's Defender, it's Vanguard, Assault, Defender... No, it's Defender, Vanguard, Guard, Sniper, Caster, Medic, Special.
Yeah,
and
so...
Supporter, I think. I think that's the last one.
So, Sniper is exactly what it says. They're your range units, and they get to attack air units, because air units are vulnerable that way. And some of them some of them have crossbows and some of them have guns, and I'm not sure why. I think it's, like I said, like a faction aesthetics thing. Yeah. And Axe has actually managed to list them all. So, the game hasn't really gotten to talking about, like, supporters and specialists, but I understand, like, medics heal. They heal your units. The casters is just, hey, we do arch damage in a big range. And then, Vanguards are fast, which makes sense because they're Vanguard units, but they have, low deployment cost.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you back cost points as they kill units, so they are good to throw out fast as an early block and build up to the rest of your units. Defenders, I think the point is it just that they can block more units?
Yeah, generally that's it.
Because, like, usually they're tanks. They're better at soaking up damage, but they can also block more units in an area, so they're better at, like, tight choke points where a lot of enemies are going to come. Because a lot of your units are can only block 1 or 2 enemies at a time. Like, if they're light and they're heavier. Now, usually what you want to do is, because there's range and melee. They do different things.
Actually, I wonder if I just turn off Samsung Flow, maybe it's the fucking disconnect between them that's fucking with Discord.
Who knows?
Sorry.
But I was just saying that, like, your maps are usually tiered, and as far as I can tell, they haven't explicitly told me yet, but as far as I can tell, it's you have to put ranged units up on the little raised squares, and you put melee units down on the little lower squares.
Yeah. There is a little bit, there are some interesting ones, like they were mentioning earlier. Lizcarm can actually shoot arrow units, which usually, like, the people on the ground can't do. And there are some range units that can, Rope, who is a specialist. She's one of those people who has, 2 squares of attack. You can put her on even though her weapon's not, a actual ranged weapon, you can still put her on ranged tiles, and she'll attack both, ground and air units, and she can pull them and stun them. That's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
So
there's a lot of little variants which I like. I appreciate being able to do lots of little fun things with my squares.
Mm-hmm. Squares are fun,
and so I will continue to work at it. Let's see, how long have we been going? We've been going for about an hour total, so that's about a half hour on Arknights. Lucky, you're playing it right now. Do you have anything else you want to add to stuff you said last time and stuff I've said this time?
Oh yeah, as I said, the game wants you to put in the hours because, there's a lot of fiddly bits with, the operators. Like, you have third levels, which, just standard, you feed them XPs, they level up. Then you have their promotion, which is basically, just, limit breaking them. The interesting thing about the limit break, though, is it takes them back down to level 1. They don't lose, stats. The stats only go up. But, you have to start leveling up from level 1 again and get them to max level again before you can promote them again. Because, and the higher ranks they have, the more, promotion status they have. I think you can promote, 3 stars only once. I think, maybe 4 and 5 stars twice. I don't know how many times you can promote.
There are definitely other games that do that. In my mind, I'm thinking of the classic Fire Emblem thing would be that you could go from level 1 to 20 and then promote.
Yeah.
And then you go back to being level 1, whatever the unit was. They haven't done that for some of the later stuff, but...
Oh, so 6 stars go to Elite, too, but it's really expensive. Well, yeah, they're 6 stars. And so... Yeah, that's a bit of work, and it's interesting because you need a bunch of different stuff, you'll need, fuck, what are they even called? I don't even know what they're fucking called. I just grabbed them.
I do know that I have picked up, just playing the tutorial and stuff, picked up a lot of random tchotchkes.
Oh yeah, you need chips, and then you need items, you need cash, and then...
I have heard people complaining about both their sanity, which we talked about last time, is your AP mechanic, and also your LMD, your cash.
Yeah, because the cash, you don't make a lot of cash from doing standard missions. You have to either, do your, dailies, or go to the daily mission, but the daily mission only... Actually, when is it open? It's only open... Let's see, supplies. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sunday. That's the money farming days. And some people feel a little weird about that, because you constantly need money. Constantly.
I mean, that's the same thing with everything else that rotates through the days.
Yeah.
I was always annoyed that Girls Frontline was like, and you can only EXP farm certain days. And I'm like, fuck. Why? Why you gotta do me like that?
And Shiryuki's been promoted! Yay! It's my AoE cat. She throws giant ninja stars.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that above.
Yep. Now we gotta start leveling her up again. Ah! Let's get her to 20. Yeah, there we go. 8. Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, the game does look like it has a lot of fiddly, and it hasn't even, like I said, it's a slow roll, which is good. I know that because I know you showed it to me, there's, XCOM level, style base building stuff that the game hasn't even touched yet for me.
Yeah,
even, doing question missions and stuff yet. It's just very slow, which I appreciate that I can kind of, do it and work on other stuff.
But yeah, like the base building, I'm definitely getting into a little bit more because this is why I say like it has the definitely because you have like it's kind of implied what you should be building in all of them. Like you can only really build dormitories in the dormitory slots. On one side, you should only build like a workshop, an office, and then the training room eventually. Side where you can decide where you want power plants, factories, or training posts. You can just do whatever combination you want, and apparently there are some recommended quote unquote guides for it. And it's like, yeah, so they let you, and then of course dormitories are dormitories. You can go get furniture and, you know.
Yes, I believe I saw last night some people freaking out that you can get basically a cat tree and some people will sit on it.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm planning on getting it eventually. Oh shit, I need to keep leveling Sieg. I forgot. Fuck. Sieg!
Oh, I did fuck up my turning. I accidentally used my skills too early.
Sieg. I'm horrible with that. I'm horrible with,
Is it literally spelled siege?
Yeah, it's literally spelled siege, but I keep saying Sieg. I don't know why. Oh shit, that fucking reminds me as I throw my phone on the ground. I
threw it on the ground. That reminds me, I probably not over the weekend because shipping and stuff anyway, but I need to make sure to remember to get a case for my new phone because kids, you're gonna drop your phone. Get a case for it. Don't be dumb.
But okay, so it was fun. Like, okay, we're going back to Goodwill. Okay, so I have nothing really to add about Arknights either. So unless you do, okay.
I mean, it's just a casual thing that's gonna excite Lucky. Like honestly, because usually trying new things or hitting new stories makes me interested in working. It stimulates my creative juices. The thing that, at the moment, Arknights is probably most likely to get me to work on is Mages 2020.
Yes, excellent. But, so, like, a long time ago, I was talking, fun fact, me and Omega are both fans of, Jim Butcher, Dresden Files. But another one of his series that I really, really like, I actually think I like it more, actually, than the Dresden Files, is his, Codex Alera series. And I've never actually read those books. Never actually read them. I've only listened to them to, the audiobooks, who is, done by, Penguin Audible, done by, Kate Redding, who does a fantastic job.
Which is interesting, because I, despite me being the audiobook guy, I've only ever read them.
Yeah. So, fun fact. So, while I'm working at Goodwill, I'm listening to the, third book, which is, Cursor's Fury. And funnily enough, I'm over there looking at books to sort into the online pile, and Jim Butcher's Codex Alera Curse of Fury falls into the box. I was like, oh shit, top keck, I'm listening to this right now. And then I remembered something that I had a fight with Omega about a long time ago. So in Codex Alera in the series, there is a race of basically lupine. Is it lupine?
They're wolfmen.
Wolfmen. They're fucking wolfmen. Called the Karna or the Carne or something. And here's the thing, that's how I understood it from the fucking audiobook. And now that and I was like, and Omega got on me once because I was pronouncing it Carne with an R. And I know he's saying I was saying it wrong, and I was just like, that's how I fucking heard it. I can't remember exactly what I was saying. But I actually didn't was like, wait a minute. I have the book. I can actually look and see what it says fucking now. So I actually, middle of work, I just open up this book and I start flipping through fucking pages
I'm inspecting this. Shut up.
I'm inspecting this. And so I look at it, and yeah, it's actually spelled C-A-N-E. And I was all like, so why is it pronounced that way? Then I remembered, oh wait, this is Roman fucking base. They're using the hard fucking, they're using the hard sounds. So yeah, it's not, even though it's C-A-N-E, it's still Karna, not Karna, but with no R. And for some odd reason, when I'm listening to the audiobook, it's just it sounds like I'm adding, just because the space between the A and the N, the switching over, it sounds like there's a phantom R in there right now.
Yeah, because it's Kan-a. Which is R.
Yeah, it is, but when you say it fast, and that's all you hear, it's you think there's an R in there. It's no, it's actually just C-A-N-I-M and C-A-C-A-N-E. I was like, yeah, Karna. And I was like, oh, it was right. Goddamn.
Which, that said, that's interesting, though, because in my mind, I've always been like, they're wolfmen, like canids.
Yeah.
So I've always thought it was pronounced like that, like Cain.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere in between, but I'm like, are you throwing I do really think I remember this conversation where I was like, are you throwing an R in there? Because obviously me only reading them, I'm like, I'm reasonably certain that's an N in there.
Yeah, and me on the other side only hearing someone else. Because as I said, they do good work with audiobooks. Like, usually they have, they do rereads, make sure all the words and whatnot are right. And so that's what I'm saying. But it's like, yeah, no, if they're using like Latin, not Latin pronunciation, but the Greco-Roman pronunciation, which is very hard. That's why you get things like
and very enunciating. That's an interesting thing. Like think about FGO, Urale.
Yeah,
you pronounce all those syllables.
Yeah,
as opposed to like, I think I've heard some people try and say it like Uriel or something.
No, no,
Urale. So yeah, it's like Kane.
Yeah, so I was like, oh. And I said, Lucky can admit he's wrong, but you got to give him some goddamn fucking proof.
No.
So yeah, I was like, technically I was wrong. But like, you guys, if you like, here's the thing, I was like actually thinking about it because we're getting peace talks this summer?
Yeah, sometime. We got a cover. We got all the stuff. Did he announce date? Hold on, I'll look that up. But continue your thought.
But I was actually thinking about, I think I like Codex Alera more than I like Dresden Files, and I was trying to figure out why that was. And I kind of I figured it out. One, it's short compared to
it's complete. It's 6 books and it's done.
It's done. It's one overarching story, and it's concise. Even though it uses the unsolvable cast fortunes, well, it's not every chapter, but maybe 2 or 3, 2 chapters.
It uses well, I assume it's a sword and sorcery thing, but it uses the Game of Thrones style. And here's a chapter about Tavi. And now here's a chapter about somebody else, like Eren or somebody.
Yeah, usually it's...
Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Doesn't Furies of Calderon even start as Amara?
Yeah, it starts with Amara. Then
right.
It goes to Tavi. Then you have Asana. And I want to say... Oh, and
you have a lot of viewpoint characters. And sometimes you even have viewpoint characters who you're like, whoa, dude, aren't you an antagonist?
Yeah, Fidelius.
Yeah. God,
and
because it's so cool. I love his character.
And that's the thing I really like about it, because while Codex Alera is just as much a action kind of oh shit, things are going down, it does a lot of work on the social political aspect of espionage and politicking and whatnot.
Yeah, it is I think Jim Butcher even says this in the afterword of one of the books, he is a big fan of sword and sandal type fiction, and so he really brings all the parts of that genre, all the political machination, but also all the military stuff. And also the beautiful thing about it is, also Codex Alera, it's like Dresden in that it escalates, but it's a slow escalation. I mean, you're
literally having a fucking anime in the last book in the final confrontation.
Yeah, the first one is very subtle. Most of our Fury crafters we meet are not super great.
They're all steadholders, and
Asana's probably the strongest, but that's only because she's been hanging out with that river her whole life. So hence the "my river" comment. One of our many early instances of badassery. But most people can't be too bullshit. And Tavi is a scrub child.
Literally,
he is there's a whole backstory for him, but he is a shepherd's assistant, a backwoodsy kid who can't get anything done physically. He has to do it all through guile.
And
then you get to number 6, and it's flaming swords, and dudes are using metal crafting to turn into Terminators and flying through the air, shooting all kinds of different fire at each other. It's literally anime.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's Codex Alera has this definite sense of escalation and of coming of age, because it takes there's always 2 years between each book.
Yeah, something like that. There's always a time skip, and you can even get the names, the titles are even spread out like that. It's escalating tiers.
Yeah, basically the end, basically where Tavi ends in the book as his role is the title of the next book.
The first one was originally going to actually be called, I think, Shepherd Boyd's Fury, but his publisher was like, Jim, you can't call the book that. That's lame. So they did Furies of Calderon, but that's Tavi's nickname later anyway.
Yeah.
Because he's just, hey, you're just the guy from Calderon. Or Calderon.
Yeah, Calderon, yeah, because Max. Like I said, like, it's also the characters, like, oh my god, I fucking...
Oh,
like
we've said this quote before, but all I could think of when you were talking about was... Legionnaires are not afraid of dinner. Dinner is afraid of Legionnaires.
It's all like, it's a Legionnaire's sacred right. Or just...
And also it's because Max and Tavi are so different, too. Because Tavi is literally a backwoods kid. It's a joke later. I think it's even in one of the later books when he's, like, up to, like, leading military command, and he runs into somebody's pen setup, and you're like, oh my god, they do this with their animals? That's amazing. And everybody looks at him like weird. And it's like, you gotta remember, the captain was like a shepherd in his past life. Like, he never quite stops being a smart but humble country boy.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Max, who's basically his best mate, is the bastard child of a high lord. So he has crazy good power. He's really good in the power tier. But he's not super smart, and he's basically career military. Like, he got shuffled off to the Legionnaires pretty soon because of inheritance concerns. Ooh. There's that political drama look he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But, and when he's introduced, Max is like the big, scary, loud friend.
Literally, your introduction to Max in the second book is him yelling, "Good morning," grabbing someone by the back of the head, and shoving their face into an iceberg that is trapping Tavi. Repeatedly.
Yeah, basically, he just comes into the scene and clotheslines some guys. In anime, he would just shout, "Ohio!" Bam! But yeah,
so good.
Fuck, now you're gonna make me reread those again. That's okay.
You should.
When I have some time.
But, like... And here's the thing, like, because you get, like, perspectives, like, from... You also get perspectives from the villain, which I think... A lot of times, like, you don't get that in Dresden Files.
No, that was the thing I was going to say, because you were talking about it. That is the thing about... We're talking about perspective. That is the thing about the Dresden Files. It is, and I love this style, it is first-person narrated by Harry. And all of his preconceptions, prejudices, experiences come to the fore. Which is great, because it really puts him into perspective. There's a great quote in one of the later books where he's showing off with some of the wardens from the council, and they're like assuming attack positions and stuff, and Harry's like, to them, I was not Harry Dresden, what is it, like, slightly ruffled, because he's got a headache and, like, he's broken some ribs and stuff at this point, because obviously it's a Dresden Files novel. He's beat to hell. Yes. But, like, I'm the crazy dark wizard they've been hearing stories about for, like, 10 years, and it's like, yeah, no, that puts it in perspective. Because to himself, Harry's, like, constantly getting his ass kicked.
Constantly. That's
a joke in the RPG. There's a picture from one of, like, the comic excerpts where he's, like, covered in bruises, and the RPG books have in-universe marginalia. So, like, Harry writes a note it's like, Billy, why am I beat to hell in this picture? And Billy the werewolf's comment below that is, Harry, are you on a case? Then you're beat to hell.
That's so true. But, like, because the real only antagonist scene you get is Philioculus, who is basically a traitorous spy. But because he's a traitorous spy, you can hear all his reasons for why he's doing, the reasons of, like, his allies and why they're doing it.
Also, I won't spoil which character he is if you haven't tried them, but there's a point where Fidelius shows up in disguise as a different dude.
Yeah, like, I loved that scene, like, so much. Especially because...
He acts like a completely different dude, too. It's just, yeah, it's really brilliant. Like, I know some people, especially because the early Dresden Files are rough, and also they are written in a noir style, so some people have, like, called out Jim Butcher's chops. But no, the man knows how to write different character perspectives really well, and very interesting.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna wanted to figure out, like, when did he write Codex Alera?
I can look that up for you. But first, I do want to say, Peace Talks is coming out July 14th, 2020, so yes, it is the summer.
Booyah! Yeah, the series we're talking about is Codex Alera, which starts with Furies of Calderon. It's a 6-book series by Jim Butcher. It is very good.
Published from 2004 to 2009. It has been over for over 10 years.
Wow. When was the first Dresden Files book?
I'll just tap Jim Butcher here, and then go over to Dresden Files. First publication, Stormfront, was April 2000.
Okay.
So he was about, 6 books in. Because they were, for a while there were some points where he was getting out a couple books a year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was, yeah. I'm seeing that Stormfront was 2000. You got Full Moon and Grave Power out in 2001. Summer Night was 2002. Deathman's 2003. Blood Rights. So yeah, he got up to Blood Rights. Yeah, no. This checks sense because I would say like the first 3 are the rough patch. For
yes,
Dresden
Grave
Files.
Peril is where it kind of starts to solid up, and I've actually tried re-listening to them because also the Dresden Files audiobooks are great.
Yeah.
James Marsters, brilliant.
Oh my god,
brilliant work.
Please tell me he's doing the audiobook for Peace
Yes,
Talks.
they have confirmed he is going to be back for Peace Talks. There was the only weirdness was Ghost Story, and that was a scheduling conflict, and they even went back and got him to record it later.
Yeah.
Which is great. But yeah, so Stormfront and Full Moon, if you actually try and read them, you're like, if you know some of his later works, you're like, these are a little rough. Jim kind of cuts the fat out of his writing a little bit later. Grave Peril really starts to solid up, and then, stuff like Summer Nights, Death Masks are really good. And then I think about, Deadbeat's the first one it started in hardcover, it was released first in that format, I believe. It's like, so that was 7 was a major production number, so that's about the time that that would probably be between his first couple Codex Alera books.
Yeah.
So he wrote, Furies of Calderon was published in October 04, Academ's Fury in July 05, and then Cursor's Fury was in December 06, so at that point he is literally like alternating writing books for a while. And then Skin Game was March 5th, 2015. It's gonna be 5 years, guys. Whew. Now, I know that there was a lot of personal bullshit why it was that long, but still, man, that's rough.
And we're still wheeling on more on the fucking, Cinder Spires.
Yeah, he only wrote one of those. That came out, in September, 2015. And then, obviously, the kerfuffle happened. Mm-hmm. So, maybe Cinder Spires number 2. I know some people are actually interested in that. I remember the Aeronauts win last pretty fondly.
Yeah, I know. I liked it. Like, it had a super-ass anime moment where the fucking ship drops and the cap's just like, well, fuck.
Yeah, Jim Butcher he's really good at action writing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and actually, now that I'm reading it, it makes sense, because apparently, the quote here is that when he had strep throat as a kid, he read Lord of the Rings and the Han Solo adventures. So I'm like, no, this tracks. That sounds accurate. And like I said, some people give him some crap because Dresden Files, it is a little, like, his action writing can be a little over the top if you're expecting something more grounded. Lucky and I like anime, so...
I'm sorry, I eternally laugh at parkour in Skin Game.
Parkour! But also, he himself, Jim Butcher, has said he's a fan of comic books, so that's probably why there are so many original and reproduction comic books for Dresden Files. It's fundamentally almost a comic book universe story, so big shit happens. But yes, very excited for, Peace Talks to finally come out. And I'm very curious if, some of the stuff that supposedly was happening in previews beforehand is actually real. Because I remember a couple years back, there was, I think he said what the first line was, and I was like, if that's the real first line, holy fuck, dude.
I can't remember. I know what it was, but I can't remember what it was word for word. It was.
Do I want to say it? I don't know if I want to say it.
I know, like...
I can type it to you, from what I remember.
Yeah. I can't remember the girl's name. Fuck. Yeah, that was the gist. It was Thomas saying it.
Yeah, it was like, the first line is supposed to be, Hi, I'm Harry Dresden. I'm having a great time. Thomas, my brother, busts in and says something, and I'm like, are you for reals right now, Jim Butcher?
No, I think the best one is still the building was on fire.
Well, yeah, I was about to say he's the guy who started. Which one was that? Was that Death Masks?
I want to say it was Death Masks because that's when Mouse shows up, right?
Yeah. That's the Acquirement of Mouse, the goodest boy.
The goodest boy. I still need to rate those fucking short stories.
They are really good. There's also Jim wrote a dumb short story about Harry assembling a bike over Christmas at night, which was really silly. But yes, that's the one that starts infamously with, the building was on fire, and it wasn't my fault.
Oh yeah, when he's building the bike, fucking Santa shows up. He actually shows up.
Because he knows that guy.
He does know that guy. Harry Dresden actually knows Santa Claus, so...
Harry Dresden knows a lot of people. It's interesting time. There's 15 books, or will be 15? Which one's Peace Talks, actually?
I thought it was 16.
Yeah, Skin Game was 15, so Peace Talks is going to be 16. And I believe he said that he plans for there to be about 20 of them.
Yeah, I know. But, yeah, as I said, Jim Butcher, real good author. As I said, his writing style is something that even young people can, latch onto, but is still very adult in its themes, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can read it casually, not have to worry about big brain concepts.
Yeah, it's approachable.
Yeah.
And usually when there has to be exposition, it's like the Arknights thing we're talking about. Usually it's framed in such a way that somebody is explaining something completely alien to somebody else. Like, Katai's a great character for that in Codex Alera, because she's like, I don't understand your culture at all. I am like a literal alien wood elf chick. And Tavi's like, okay, calm down. It's like this. That's stupid. I know. That's stupid, Alera. You're stupid.
But like, I love you.
Yeah, I know. I know it's dumb.
Oh, I love that. Oh, Katai is so amazing.
Yeah, the characters are great. And also, I'm still wondering, I read an Ask Me Anything thread with Jim Butcher, where somebody asked him the fateful question, what would happen if Harry Dresden and Tavi met? And Jim was like, I'd have to write a book. And then, shit, I'd have to write a book. I'm like, oh, I'm hoping he still remembers. He thought that once. There is a rule about not crossing into parallel timelines, which means naturally Harry Dresden must break that rule.
Isn't the one after Peace Talk supposed to be Mirror Mirror?
Yes, Mirror Mirror is ostensibly the title of a story, and he has the outline for it, which is going to explore that don't fuck with time and space and stuff.
Oh yeah, by the way, Codex Alera was made as a bet. I can't remember at what conference, but another writer told Jim Butcher he couldn't write a book with 2 random concepts, and Jim took the bet. And the 2 concepts were the Lost Roman Legion and Pokemon.
Yeah.
And that turned into a 6-book series. Actually, I wonder how well it sold. I wonder if I can find that.
I think it went pretty good. Also, I just linked this in Let's Talk FGO, but apparently the Fate Drink Order Twitter has fired up again.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Sam Chan. Okay.
Now you're trying to look up critical reception or sales. Hardcover, major book sales, pre-orders, a significant step forward.
So, this just arrived, speaking of Let's Talk FGO, but a long time ago, when one of our community members went to a convention, they had talked about, they got an Atalante print. And me, being lucky, I was like, what the fuck? I want an Atalante print. And they said, okay, I'll get you one. I was like, wait. But it was too late.
Yes. You were like, Gib. And they were like, okay.
And... oh, it's so cute. I gotta take a picture of this. And they just recently sent it to me, and it arrived. And on the name, I'm not gonna say their name, but for my name is John, quote, Lucky Smith. I'm like, that's kind of great. I need to frame this Atalante print.
Framing is good.
Framing is good. Hang on.
Looking, like, obviously... it must have sold okay because it was booked as a trilogy, and then the publisher agreed to 3 more to complete the 6. The final one peaked at number 7 on the New York bestsellers list.
Wow!
So that's pretty good. Yeah. So they steadily got higher and higher on the list. Like number 4 got to like 17th on the New York Times bestseller list.
That's pretty good.
Climbed up 10 spaces. So obviously, yeah, it did okay for a book.
This is such a lovely print. Yeah. I gotta measure this and get a picture frame. Ah, no, it fell! Ah!
Yes, Devilish, I did actually. I managed to fit it onto my phone by turning off certain apps. And we'll like I said, we'll see if my phone freaks out about it. I'm not playing Arknights right now, though, because I'm farming FGO. And occasionally forgetting stuff. But we were talking about books. We like books.
We do. Like, here's the thing. Like, me, like, I haven't been reading books as much. Like, I pick up light novels and stuff. But then I realized it's not because I don't like reading. It's just I don't have time to lay down with a fucking book.
Uh-huh.
I have to, like, if I didn't actually tell myself to, like, turn off my audiobook and do other stuff, I would literally be listening to an audiobook, like, all day, every day.
Yeah, it's easy. I do that a lot. Listen to stuff, podcasts, audiobooks, whatever.
Yeah,
depends on the format, obviously. Like, usually I like to put, like, YouTube or TV on the background when I'm, like, playing on my phone, just because that's easier to balance, like, you know, the phone thing. Not as many devices, but yeah.
I should take a picture of this prince.
Like,
where's my phone? Oh, wait.
Playing through,
I'm playing on my phone.
Yeah, you're holding it. Like, playing through Fallen Order and stuff, I listen to, a lot of podcasts and stuff. I prefer actual plays, but I'll listen to other stuff.
Where's my camera?
Just because that gives me lots of inspiration for things. But yeah, we mentioned mages earlier, and interestingly enough, Codex Alera is it's even listed in there. That's not necessarily for the actual setting, though some of the history could be considered kind of inspired, but very much the systems of how that works and like how it interacts with stuff is very inspired by that series and its elemental and its magic system, basically, of like combining all the different aspects. So yeah, and it definitely had an influence on how I treated different mages and how I named them, because I used the same naming convention.
Yeah, the knights, Flora, Terra, Ignis, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think I used Sylvan for wood instead of Flora, because I was like, that's flower specifically, but okay, you do you, Jim. But like, a lot of the others are directly inspired by that convention for how mages are referred, because everybody's big brain about Roman.
Big brain. Biggest brain. Hang on,
Why
I have
is
a
Heavenly Sword trending on Twitter? Hold on.
Are they making a... Wait, no, because they're making a second one, remember?
Oh, they are actually making a second one?
Oh, wait, no, that was, I'm pretty sure
I'm
they
seeing
are.
an IGN tweet which is asking about certain Sony franchises, I believe. Because they're like Resistance, Killzone, PS Battle Royale, All-Stars, Infamous, and stuff.
Oh, yeah, no, Loth is right. It's Senua's Sacrifice that's getting the sequel. But it's made by the same company, that's why I clicked.
I don't think I played Senua's Sacrifice. I did play Heavenly Sword, which was alright. It was very, very middle-of-the-road game. I think that was kind of the point, is it had a lot of tech demo stuff. And Andy circusing it up. But yeah, apparently that's just a thing, because that's also why Infamous is trending on Twitter, is like, IGN asked the question basically of like, hey, remember these Sony franchises? And me, I'm like, dear PlayStation 5, Killzone collection? Question mark? Do me a solid?
I wouldn't mind, is there a Resistant collection?
I don't know.
I should check.
There was technically a Killzone collection already, but it was literally just a repackage of like Killzone 2 and 3 for PS3 already. Like, it wasn't a re-release, it was a package deal.
Like, I wouldn't mind a new Infamous, but bring me back Cole McGrath and his lightning powers. God damn it.
Yeah, there was some weirdness about the way Infamous handled itself with sequels and stuff.
Yeah, I'm still not over that. I have Second Son, like, because I got it for free. Still haven't played it though, for reasons. I need to frame this Atalante. I need to measure this, and I need to buy a frame.
Well, okay, so that's the thing, Loth. That's not Sony. That's a Konami problem, which is there's no fucking way. There's sadly no way that they'll do that.
I wonder if there's a zone of Ender's
that's a Kojima game.
Hang on. Zone of Ender's Pachinko. I'm gonna see if this is a thing. Is it a thing? Okay, it doesn't look like there is. God damn it. Oh well.
What's Armored Core? When was the last Armored Core game that I didn't play?
Well, that's From Software, and From Software is not making mecha games anymore.
That's right, they're busy. Alright, that makes sense. Where's the Dark Souls of giant robot games? Now somebody who's played all of those is going to be like, oh, it was actually Armored Core. Insert number here. That was the Dark Souls of mecha game. Thank you very much. Dark Souls is actually the Armored Core of dark fantasy games. Okay, fine.
Cool.
That's neat.
Well, From Software is still working on, what was it, Elden Ring right now?
Yes, they're collab with George R.R. Martin, maybe. Supposedly.
Loth is mentioning the Surge, which really isn't mecha, which is so much exoskeleton. There is a difference.
that was Golly Gee Willikers wasn't Elysium and I guess almost like District 9. Weren't those cool?
From Software made a really silly ninja game. What silly ninja game? I'm curious. From Software. Let's see. I'm curious now.
But yeah, so I'm like, actually, I don't know.
If he's talking about Sekiro, that won Game of the Year in the US, so I would not call that...
No, and also I don't... Yeah, I was about to say, I think Axe actually likes Sekiro from like a conceptual level.
Yeah, so... Tenchu? Let's see here. Actually, let me look here. Elden Ring, Sekiro, Durase, Armor... Let's see here. Wow, the last Armored Core game was in 2013.
Wow.
Let's see here. Another Century, Demon Soul. Yeah, Tenchu. You're playing?
Sorry, I yawned.
I don't know. Let's see here. All I knew about fucking From Software was their Armored Core line. I almost knew like nothing else.
But yeah, that's. I do feel like Giant Robot is kind of underrepresented. I think there's a Gundam game that's come out recently that people think is cool.
Let me see if I can find mecha video games and see if anything interesting's come out recently.
But I'll admit I haven't seen anything like super cool in a while.
Let's see. Titanfall 2 is the first one, and Hawken. Let's see here. What's recent?
Also, I gotta be honest. I don't...
Oh, Demon X Machina. That's right.
Shrug.
It's a Switch game.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, I don't... that didn't really... Like, I remember that game by name, but I'm like, that game doesn't really tickle any memory cells.
Let's see here. Came out September 13th, 2019. Let's see here. It's got a 68% on Metacritic. But,
oh, fuck. Where? Did I actually link this? I dug out a link and I was like, wait, did I link it or did we get distracted by talking about books? We probably got distracted. Some people were talking to me about, were sassing me about Mages 2020. And I'm like, no, it's Mages 2020. It's right here. You can look it up. It's got themes and stuff. And there's a reason why it's 2020. Anyway, but yeah, the mecha video game genre is a little underrepresented. I know that there was like a Mech Warrior game a while ago. But let's be real. Western mecha games aren't really mecha games.
They usually focus more on tactical gameplay rather than.
Well, that's because and you and I are probably too young, but somewhere in there, Western nerds, BattleTech is embedded in everybody's subconscious. And it's like, that was a nerdy thing I used to do. I played BattleTech, and I'm like, I didn't play BattleTech. Seems cool, but but I'm like.
You see, because, like, here's the thing. I grew up with, like, Armored Core for my mech, so I kind of like and Zone of Ender, so I like, high-speed, stupid amounts of weaponry mechs instead of,
Well, yeah, the Japanese style is... And, yes, some of them can be slower. And I like Titanfall's mechs, but also at the same time, I'm like, I also play, like, 50% of that game out of the cockpit, at least, minimum. And I hate the Titan-only modes. Yeah, like you don't play multiplayer, but I like stuff like Last Titan Standing and stuff is like.
I did play multiplayer, but I haven't played it recently.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know if you tried it. I know you're usually against that kind of stuff, but yeah, stuff like Last Titan Standing and whatnot didn't. Like on the one hand, I don't like all just pilot only modes because then it gets a little like it misses kind of the tacticalness of like deploying a Titan and you can blow up lots of guys and stuff. But also Titan-only modes kind of suck because, man, it really sucks to get dogpiled by 4 enemy Titans.
Oh, yeah, and I played multiplayer when I had a friend to play with, and I had some guys who were into it for a while. So, yeah, I played it.
And I think, I don't even know, is the campaign even 50% Titan, 50% pilot?
I'd say it's more like 30% Titan, 70% pilot.
Yeah, it's mostly on foot because you're not even a pilot at the very start.
Yeah.
And then it's like actually getting in your Titan is the like that's the fun stompy blasty segments.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Fear when you got to use those exoskeletons and just blow everybody up.
Mm-hmm. And there's definitely a couple story moments where you literally lose your mech and you're carrying it around under your arm as you got this automatic headshot pistol and you're just all like, this is amazing.
Yeah, the smart pistol's fun, and but also I'm glad it's not a normal weapon in multiplayer. That's like a power-up weapon.
Yeah.
I think because there was no single player, it was just a weapon in the first game. Which I'm thinking to myself, man, that sounds bullshit.
Oh, it came out in the same month as Untitled Goose Game, Astral Chain, and Code Vein. Yeah, I can see why Demon X Machina kind of...
Yeah, like I said, I remember the name, and I think it was probably something that looked or sounded cool, but I'm just like, I don't remember that game at all. I'm like, which one was that? There was a lot of good shit that month.
A lot of people are saying it reminds them of Armored Core. I'm looking at audience reviews here and whatnot.
That's cool. I know there was that... what was that one game I can't remember the name of? That weird survival one.
There's a lot of weird.
Was it literally just called Survive? It's the one that was like sneak around and then steal a mech. We saw it at an E3 trailer one year.
Oh, I know the one you were. I know
Left
the
Alive.
One
there it is. I think that's
it. Yeah, because that had the fucking same artist from fucking Metal Gear.
Yeah, I think that one turned out to suck.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So I'm like, that's sad.
Kojima. I need you to do a thing. I need you to make a mech game.
Yeah, Kojima, can you make not Zone of Enders?
That'd be great.
Or just buy your own trademarks back. Who knows? Apparently, he's rambling about wanting to make movies, TV, and anime right now, which is not going to be awful, but also games though. You only made one game, Kojima.
I want to play your anime movie thing. Let me play it.
Well, you just know that he'd like sell it to Netflix or something dumb, and it would be like, what was that one episode of like Black Mirror? And I think there's some other stuff where it's like a choose your own adventure bullshit.
That'd be so weird.
Kojima would do that. Well, I don't know. They're making a Metal Gear Solid movie supposedly with that guy who was the film director.
Keck.
That's real funny. That's why I'm not like super concerned that it will be absolutely awful. Like it'll probably still be weird because it's Metal Gear Solid, dude. You can't compress that down into 2 hours. That's just not going to work. But I'm sure it won't be like abjectly crappy because it seems like the guy they've tapped to do the project is tight with Kojima who wrote it. So, anyway,
I wonder if Kojima will actually be in the credits.
I mean, there are legal ramifications. He did direct and like develop the story of the original game. I don't think you can get away with not giving him credit because then you're basically stealing it, right? Which is not allowed. Would it be like adapted from like
Kojima's Metal Gear Solid or something? I don't know.
It could be something like that, yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, actually, yeah. So actually, it looks like Daemon X Machina might be something I might have to look into getting to.
Yeah, I will be sure to watch that trailer later when I am not recording.
Because I do like me some mecha games, and I do need more games for my Switch. And hey, I can take my Switch to work and play it at fucking lunch. Booyah. Portability is amazing.
Go, Gadget Switch.
Keck.
Let's see, we go for about a 1:45. I am a little sleepy. But let's see, we talked about books and video games and stuff. We talked about Arknights. I think last time you said, do you want to talk about anime? You want to just...
I can talk a little bit about anime.
What's that phrase? Do you ever want to just go fucking crazy or something? I don't know. I'm sleepy.
As I said, we've been in a new core. We're like 3 weeks in, and a lot of anime has come out, and a lot of it is pretty damn good. I'm actually a little surprised. One anime I definitely want to talk about, coming to no surprise to anyone, is I want to talk about Interspecies Reviewer. Interspecies Reviewer is probably my favorite anime of this core. Because 1, it's funny. 2, it's lewd. 3, it's unique. And 4, it's surprisingly well done. It's well done and progressive. So, the basis of Interspecies Reviewers is a couple of adventurers who are really good at their job, make money, and they spend it, I'm assuming basically most of it, at the red light district of a town. And the interesting thing about this red light district is it's all fucking monster girls. And at one point, they actually put up a review of the girls and their species and what it's like, and they become super fucking popular and start doing it over and over again. That's the entire basis of this fucking series, is just these dudes going around to different bosses and banging monster girls. And I was looking at them all like, this is surprisingly lewd, but in the way that the anime phrased it, it's more funny than anything, and I dig that. Because, as I said, like, yeah, it's a lot of lewd. Like, I am eternally shocked that this is literally streaming on Funimation, and they have to start every episode with this contains strong sexual content, and viewer discretion is advised every time.
From
And I'm just like, they're literally airing this because it is literally like 3 steps from hentai. Like, dead serious.
There's a lot of itchy games, not games, anime that are like that.
And, like, they have, like, to throw censor patches on everything. But apparently, like, if you go, like, watch it, like, via Witchcraft, you can get uncensored versions. I haven't watched them because, as looted as it is, I'm just as much interested in the overall show that seeing some fucking, patches over everything doesn't, like, detract too much from it.
Right, you're not watching it just to see some nip, and it's like, why you hide this for me?
Yeah. Like, it's the whole thing of, like, these guys interacting with these girls and being complete and utter horn dogs and all that. And another reason why I liked it is because prostitution, like, is one of those weird subjects that people are like, we don't know if we actually want to talk about this situation at all. And this anime is just in your face with us. Like, yeah, these girls, like, we're going to pay them, we're going to bang them. So what? Yeah. And, you know, it's not like, it doesn't look like, you know, and all the girls are like, yeah, we're having a good time here. We're having fun. We know these guys. They cool. Pay us. We'll bang. Yeah. I'm like, that's kind of kind of a progressive mindset because, like, especially here in the West where, like, you know, prostitution is just straight out, like, illegal. That's something that, you know, a lot of people won't, like, have fun. It's like, if a girl's a prostitute, either she's either, like, part of, like, she's either being pimped out, she's hooked on drugs, she's utterly broke and can't afford, like, to, like, pay for her kids or something. You know, it's usually, like, some sort of, horrific, like, backstory and whatnot. We kind of have that, stigma attached to it. And you can just watch this show of, like, yeah, these girls are just doing a job, and it's entertaining. So I really like it. It's something that I can actually look forward to every week. And the crazy thing is usually you'd see, like, a concept like this, and you'd expect kind of a low-budget animation. And, like, I'm watching, I'm like, no, this is actually, like, I would say above-average animation with it. Like, the character designs are pretty simple. Like, because there's a lot. Like I said, they're doing monster girls. There's a lot of different monster girls. You see it, like, in the opening and whatnot. And as, like, they've had, what does it say? Bird maids, slime girls, demon girls, minotaurs with giant titties. I remember there was a tweet of one of the guys writing the review for the minotaurs, and he was just saying, "Titties, holy shit, titties!" And the comment was just like high quality writing. I'm like, no, I'd say that too. I can't think of more off the top of my head, but it's great. I hardly recommend it. If you want to see something unique, funny, and lewd, I'd hardly recommend it. Like, don't try and take it too seriously, or try to use it as your wank material.
I was wondering if you died or if I just distracted you.
You distracted me.
The moment you started talking, I thought of it.
You've never heard that, Axe?
No, this is a copy pasta.
This is a copy pasta.
I don't want to play it on mic for the audience, but yeah, it's
a meme, Axe. That's why.
Yeah. But it's a copy pasta meme because it's funny. Somebody wrote this once, and then you're like, I will never forget this. Humongous, hungalugabahungalungus.
Even bigger.
I probably didn't throw enough H's and O's in there.
Yeah. So, yeah, Interspecies Reviewers, you should give it a watch. It's based off a manga. It's an adaptation from a manga, which Western Witchcraft only has like 11 chapters of it, and I find that interesting. Yeah, so I don't know like what's gonna happen. But it was actually funny because of this week's episode airs on Saturday.
Is it too saucy for most witchcraft sources, so you have to go to those special websites to get?
I don't think so. I was able to find it on my usual site. It just only has 11 chapters.
That honestly, those quote unquote special websites, they do normal non-H stuff too. Yeah, it's just like a giant archive.
Oh, it got picked up from by 7 Seas. Interesting. So it actually got to
okay. But clearly they're not marketing it good enough. If Lucky couldn't have that jump out at him.
Let me see here.
Like it's one thing to license a series, and that kind of locks down the dark magic, but also like you should provide guidance on that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a sad fact. If people start hunting for it, they don't find out that you've licensed it and you've got it.
Mm-hmm.
We're in a weird state where Loth literally shouts, "I'll get the rope," and my first thought is,
apparently it's being Lin. It wasn't 7th Seas, it was Yen Press.
Oh.
Shit, maybe I can find it at a SakuraCon this year.
But I was just thinking, Loth shouts, "I'll get the rope," and I'm like, but we don't need to kill Dallas right now. He hasn't done anything wrong.
And there is actually a character called Rope. Let me see here. Let me search. What do you got? Enter species, reviewers. How much is it going to cost me?
Oh, she does have a knife on the back end. Okay, I was kind of confused by the art, but that's the other end of the rope looping around. Okay.
Hey, Volume 3 got the Centaur Girl on it. Nice.
That was my snap into thumbs up. Hey. Okay.
Wow. I'm looking down this list, and there's another one called Monster Wrestling, Interspecies Combat Girls. I'm just like...
Honestly, all I'm thinking about right now is just, I need to remember someday to order me those volumes of Plus Size Elf. Because they're on Amazon.
Yeah, they are.
That's another good one. The artist is very good, and also, it actually has a plot and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, invariably, everybody always backslides, we try.
Hey, you can get health and fitness tips out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
well, and also, I think it's got a very shockingly healthy mentality. Despite the fact that also the artist, whose name escapes me at the moment, but
it's Cyanidine.
He or possibly she, I don't know. Draws their ladies extra thick. A foolish samurai warrior wielding a foolish samurai warrior.
Hang on, I have to go on Amazon. I have to put this shit on my fucking wish list.
There you go.
Hang on. Interspecies
reviewers and books. I'll just think about H&S jokes.
Oh wow, that's not. Let's see here. Pre-order February 18th. Yeah, I'm gonna add this to my fucking manga.
Yeah, Dark Elf's all about that ass.
That ass.
Whoop. There it is. And yeah, technically she's wearing pants in that picture. They're just... It's too much. Can't contain the firepower.
Nope.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, I was making an old-ass reference to YouTube poop about Samurai Jack just then. Because there's a very famous edit of one of Aku's monologues about a foolish samurai warrior. And then you just smash cut it to wielding an evil shapeshifter, wielding a magic sword.
Alright, so let me check my list. Make sure that is all.
Well, listen, I'm into Legend of the Five Rings now. That's a prime place to make some dumb Samurai Jack jokes.
I still need to watch the last season.
I don't think I ever watched the last season either. It was...
Oh, wait.
It was on Adult Swim, which is probably why. Because I would have had to, find it somewhere on the internet. Because who the fuck has cable? Who does this?
Alright, let's see here.
But are there any more animus you want to talk about?
Not super particularly. I mean, I could talk about more, but I actually kind of want to talk about Tabletop and how we should totally be playing Eclipse Phase tomorrow, because reasons.
Well, we should. God, I hope we are.
Yeah,
just because I'm working on lots of stuff, and so I would like to work through the Eclipse Phase we got backed up so we can do other stuff.
Well, that's the thing, we're probably one session from finishing the module, I hope.
Almost assuredly.
So,
assuming you guys can remember what you were doing, 2 months later.
I remember we're fucking being attacked because some bitch wants to kill us because we found some shit out.
Correct. That's all you need to know. Good. The rest of you can listen to Eclipse Phase Bump in the Night #1 on our YouTube channel, available now. And if you're a patron, you can get the audio version. Boom.
Chilling!
But yes. I think I made about a joke about that because I was talking about one of the Star Wars Legion videos I did that, to try and cross-promote that. Eventually, at some point, we're probably going to play more Star Wars, and I'll put that on the channel. But I did joke that one of our members, the esteemed Ron, it always seems like when... I don't know if it's just we're bad at timing, which we could be. We're bad at time and space and math. But it always feels like whenever we bring up the conversation of hey, what's a good day? Is Sunday still good for everybody? It's yeah, okay. But not this Sunday. I got a chapter reading.
Goddamn communism!
I got a thing to do. I feel like that's every time we talk about it. Maybe when you don't have something on a weekend, you could bring it up and let us know. I mean, I'm not. Mostly, it's this month that it's an issue because last month it was December. There was holiday stuff. I had personal stuff going on. I'm not gonna write anybody too hard about all that because it's a busy time of year, but still, it's like, can we do stuff?
I'm actually gonna
you're just gonna throw the thing out.
Yeah, do it!
And see what happens. But yeah, so hopefully we can move through that, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
And
like I said, I'd like to work through it.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, like me, I like Eclipse Phase. I do. I really do. I like my character too.
Mm-hmm. And like honestly, if you guys are still okay with it and we can actually get a schedule going again, there are still a couple of other short run adventures for EP I would like to run through.
Yeah, but you said from the beginning that like you didn't really have anything major planned. We're just running modules.
I just wanted to try out EP2, and that seemed like a good excuse to like get people in and get some active stuff going, because we were taking a break from Ages of War. So it was like, we can probably swing some Eclipse Phase.
Yeah, so we need to get this out of the way, because you still want to do Legend of the Five Rings, maybe
Yes, I need
Star
to
Wars.
finish writing my Legend of the Five Rings campaign, which I've put on hold mostly just because I felt like we weren't get to playing it anytime soon, so it was like, whatever, it's not a big deal. I'll get to it.
And you also have your Jinsekai to maybe think about.
Yes, I need to test that at least, and then kind of figure out some stuff.
Yeah, so it's like, y'all know me. If Omega wants to like run something, I'm like, I'll play.
And with running, I get this problem we're having right now where it's like, it gets backed up where I'm like, well, now there's like 2 or 3 things I want to try, so can we get this a move on so I can try things? You know? And yes, you're usually pretty open about whatever.
Mm.
As is Marth or Sate, our other mainline guy. That's why the Wages of War campaign ended up a buddy cop, because it was like, literally, you were the only 2 I could get to have a consistent fucking schedule and do the thing. So it was like, okay.
It works out amazingly well.
And now that is permanently a buddy cop thing. It will never not be a buddy cop unless Lucky says it's okay. But I'm like, whatever. I'll run it with 2 people. Honestly, it works really efficiently.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I said, we've had this talk of how of people's play styles, and me and Marth mesh real well together.
Yeah, Marth doesn't like to, like, he doesn't mind thinking about stuff. He doesn't really like to talk through stuff so much. He likes to like read the rules in his own time and then figure out what he's going to do, and he does the thing. And Lucky, you like to talk a lot.
Yeah, I do.
And talk to people a lot. So it's like, okay, you figure out all the stuff, you ask all the questions, and then it's like, hey, go here, do this. You're like, what's Marth's character's name again? Is it
which one?
In Mages of War? It's Ulrich.
Yeah, it's Ulrich.
You're like, Ulrich, shoot that man, and he's like, okay, blam, and you're like, that man is dead. Or more usually, it's like, oh wow, that guy's real fucking dead. As I just draw a strike through line in Google Docs through that guy's stat block. But that's kind of what Mages of War is designed to do, is like, if somebody's not eating shit suddenly in Mages of War, you're not doing it right.
Like, speaking of...
If somebody gets hosed down in a hail of automatic gunfire and lives, you're like, what is... It's Lucky's player character, and you're like, everybody's like, what is wrong with this man?
I am carrying around... What is wrong is I got shot twice, and I decided no more.
Yes, I believe I remember re-listening to it a while ago. In the very first session, you, like, took a bullet in the brain, which wasn't a serious deal, because it was, like, a revolver, so it was, like, intermediate damage, but still, you were, like, you took one, you failed your toughness roll, and passed out in the mud, and were like, well, we're gonna fix that.
I was like, does filigree? Gone. Armor? Lots of it. More armor. More armor!
And then it was just then it's just the tier race of just like, how do I actually hurt Wolfgang? How do I do that?
With lightning.
Lightning. Yeah, the proof is that the system is already built to account for that, because some spells are just ignore armor and toughness.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they're really high tier though, so.
Yep. But yeah, speaking of that, Omega, look for a package tomorrow with things in it.
Tomorrow you're saying? Okay, I'll keep an eye out.
Mm-hmm. It kind of did, Double-ish.
Honestly, I've totally seen that with as Perma GM. I see that all the time with player characters. Somebody plays their character for like 1 or 2 sessions, and then they run into something. And it's like, either the character clicks and they understand perfectly what they want to do with it and why, or they're like, I don't like this character at all. I don't like this situation I'm in. I have to do something different. Like, I think you solidified how Taquet worked in like session 1 or 2, I want to say. In one of the Felucia sessions where you joyrided a TIE fighter and didn't have any fucking pilot. And you're just like, I've got 3 agility, I'll be fine. That was Taket's modus operandi through the rest of the game. I have green dice. It's okay. Just Taket realized that it was not as bad it was worse to not do anything and get fucked up than to try and fail, and just you rolled with that the entire year and a half, 2 years we played that game.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff got blown up. Taket lost his arm at some point.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then it was I think it was also in that situation, but it was a bit later, where everybody, but especially Dr. Murderbot, really solidified when he borrowed a flame projector because he was like, this is gonna be cool, and then it was like, it was not cool. Like, that's the smash cut. Just imagine Dr. Murderbot was Bex. He was a repurposed BX commando droid, he was a soldier class, so he was a medic sniper. He was both. That's why we called him Dr. Murderbot. This hand saves life, this hand takes life away. And actually, you guys had some in-character conflict about that, too, because he was a sniper, so what he wanted to do was to stand very far away and make enemies very, very dead.
Yes.
But because that was his situation, you got into a close quarters thing, and he's like, I'm gonna use a flame projector, that sounds cool. Then just like, in the movie version of this, or the TV version, just smash cut, it was not cool. Because you ended up fighting just Imperial Navy guys in just like their shirt sleeves in close quarters and burninating them, and it was like, no, this is not great. They're dying really bad, and it really sucks. And I think after a big fight where he actually got to use the flame projector, he like dropped it to the floor and was like, we're never doing that again. And you didn't. And honestly, after that, you guys were a lot more conscious about using stun setting versus a lot of guys if you didn't have to.
Yeah.
And just like, let's not brutally murder everyone.
We still blew a lot of stuff up, but we usually tried to minimize casualties whenever we could. And
yeah, there was lots of yelling, lots of stun. You used like shaped charges to optimize demolitions at the key areas and stuff like that.
Mayhem Squad did a lot of property damage. A lot.
Yeah, you guys were Mayhem Squad. You caused a lot of ruckus.
But yeah,
like, honestly, if your choice was fight some dudes or blow up a wall and escape, you would blow up the wall and escape. It was like, nah, we're not staying here. Fuck you. Mayhem out. Real bomb.
Yeah, but with Wolfgang, I kind of solidify I'm going to be a front and center officer because I'm probably going to get shot the fuck anyway. So I'm just going to layer up as much as possible.
Well, yeah, your concept with this character was always a little bit melee focused, a little bit sword and board. You were like, I'm going to take the long sword and I'm going to use it. And I was like, okay. And we learned a lot about melee combat rules. But that did, in fact, put you in a lot of situations because, hey, it's Fantasy World War I. And, gosh, I think the standard repeating rifle is is it 500 meters, 800 meters?
Yeah, something like that.
It's long.
It's long.
I think it's 500 in the scout rifle, which is a semi-automatic rifle, which is definitely not just the rifle that Tanya's squad uses. Definitely. But is also period appropriate. That's like 800 meters. So it's like, yeah, no, that's a long way to charge. Now, you guys can fly, and we've done some work on mobility and stuff, but there was definitely a realization of like, boy howdy, getting shot sucks, which it does. This game was originally based on 40k RPGs, which are notoriously brutal. I'm much better at them too, because they had stuff like, you can only be first aided once a day. I'm like, nah, let's not do that. They can keep trying to make you better if they want to keep spending rolls on it. There might be a note that's like, oh, if you're like, maybe you're like once per injury, but it's I've never had a problem with you guys healing per se, especially with magic on the line. The question is like, are you guys gonna go unconscious or get penalties, and then occasionally crit stuff happens. And we've done a lot of fiddling to make the critical system actually work. And I think it comes up enough that like occasionally you can be like usually you guys are just getting like grazed with bullets through your armor and stuff, so it's like, oh, you got bruised a little. Mostly enemies take the brunt of this, where they like shatter bones and stuff. But the point is that like this is an industrial war. Getting into a fight sucks.
Yeah.
Like if you get into a war, it will hurt you. And I think actually like, what's the default damage on a repeating rifle?
Isn't it like 1d? I think it's
like 1d10 plus 5?
Something like that.
Yeah, so that's basically... Average wounds is like 15, so it's like...
You get shot a couple times, you're down.
Yeah, if you're shot a couple of times, you're done. And a lucky shot can finish you. Like, if you take one to the head or something, you're done. You are dead. Maybe you can... there's this... I don't think we've actually tested the save versus death system, but there is one. Because usually everybody hits their... If you're taking damage, usually you're hitting the half your wounds in one go mark, and you're like, okay, you need to make a shock test or you're just going to pass out because holy shit, you just got shot.
Yeah.
Which I think it's interesting because for purposes of tactical combat, that makes the game dangerous but not deadly.
Well, yeah, because usually, like, when you go, if you fall unconscious, you're not a target anymore.
And in fact, you're not supposed to be. We've done a lot of discussion about the rules of war.
Yeah.
But that could lead to interesting scenarios. You have to retreat. If you, like, all pass out, that means, like, if you and Ulrich both went unconscious, that would probably be, assuming they're not also in a bad way, that would probably be your companions grab you and run away with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would lose the engagement, which in some ways could be worse than dying. Or you could get captured and we could have the POW episode.
Prison Break, maybe.
Well, yeah, now you gotta worry about the casual demons. But luckily for Mages of War, I do still remember the general idea of some of my plot ideas. Because it was a very loosey-goosey, but I kind of remember the general direction of anything I wanted to go if we start a second season of that anytime. But yes, we should definitely finish up the Eclipse phase we're working on, and maybe do some more if everybody's still having fun with that. And if not, then it's basically the decision of like, okay, depending on where my writing is, have I wrapped up enough Gensekai that we can test that? Though I might want to I'm enjoying writing the fluff for that a lot. I might still want to work through that, and I'll work through it more on the week. Oh, I need some people to actually read it too.
Okay, I can get on that.
While I was actually doing the spec trees, I caught myself in error where I was like, you literally put the same talent twice in this thing, and it's not a ranked talent, so I knew it was a mistake. I'm like, whoops. Well, okay, so I know that I didn't proofread this up to this point, and I know nobody else proofread it, because that would be pretty obvious. Hopefully most of it's legible, and like I said, I'm working through the mechanical parts. I wrote a lot of fluff, now I'm writing some mechanics, then I'm going to switch back to fluff, etc., and kind of alternate that way so it's not too much. But it would be like, test it, because even though the setting is written to almost be kind of sandboxing, just like, ooh, you've been reincarnated, it could definitely be very, like, loosey-goosey, just drop in, out kind of thing.
I've already told you, I'm playing like a fucking dragon samurai fucking guy looking for a harem. I'm totally ready to fucking ham this shit up.
That's good. You're in the right mindset. It's very hammy. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that when we're writing about cosmology and stuff too. But yeah, so that's one thing, but that's not like a campaign. More campaign setting is like, okay, do I make sure I've finished writing out my L5R campaign and we get started in that, or is it, do you guys want me to put something together for Star Wars? Well, it's nice of you guys to offer, and I usually share these with the community. I don't think it's been a couple of weeks, if not more, since I shared Gensekai, so I do like it when people read what I've got. I appreciate, when I go through bouts of writing Mages of Law, which is my Mages 2020 fiction, I appreciate when Lucky likes that and talks about it. Oh, he's smart. But, let me go back to Patreon chat, because I will go ahead and throw... Oops. I did not copyright. I almost pasted my copy pasta again. Trust me, Robin, I understand that a lot. But yes, that is the Gensekai document. You can marvel at how many pages it loads to. And, Lucky, you doing okay over there? I'm gonna take that as a no. This might be a for real ghosting.
It's a real ghosting.
Oh, cool. I managed to blabber on long enough that it was basically seamless. Let's see how many. It's still loading how many pages there are in Gensekai, but it's a lot. Oh, since we are talking about Tabletop, that does remind me. I don't know why, but for some reason, just today, I was like, I think it's because I was like looking at Mages 2020. I was like, what did I actually write for this? And I just realized to myself, cryptography bothers me. I'm going to rename that. So all instances of cryptography in the book are now encryption.
That makes sense.
I'm just like, that's better. That's less. Cryptography is cool and it works, but it sounds a little too specific. So I'm like, let's go with encryption. That makes more sense.
It also sounds a little archaic in the situation.
Because in the future, in the 2020 version of the setting, and possibly in others, if we actually do expand out to more time periods, which it could work, encryption is going to become the skill for digital intrusion, basically hacking, because That's kind of how that works. It's either you figure out an exploit, or it's like, can you figure out how this is coded so you can get in there? Break password, that kind of stuff. Okay, I think we've stopped loading at 169 pages, yes. Is it the one that's about traditional games?
TG? There's an 8chan now?
Yeah, that was a while back. That was the breakaway to be even more 4chan-y than 4chan. I think they got exploded, though. Classy love. Let's see, what's our mission clock?
Okay, now we gotta wait for 16chan. Fuck.
Yeah, we're at about 2 hours.
I'm ready to wind down.
Yeah, that's fair. I was just wondering if we had any more tabletop thoughts other than just in general. We want to do tabletop stuff, and there's not enough time.
Yeah, like I said, like now that I'm working, weekends are probably gonna be my dedicated slot. Probably Sunday, because Omega doesn't like talking fucking forever.
Yes, and also just at least with this current computer, we'll see if that gets better when I get a new one eventually in the next few months. But it's also just it's a huge pain in the ass to record for 3 hours and then try to work on processing that in a reasonable fashion and then record for 3 more hours. It just the computer is not up to the task of multitasking that hard.
What computer?
No, it's okay. It's done me all right. It's just it was not a super expensive computer to begin with, so now I'm starting to feel its age a little bit. Since I have actually managed to install Arknights, it's like emulation is mostly just I'd love to have the free space, especially considering how huge Girls Frontline is, and I feel like I basically need a computer to run all that space anyway. But and now it's definitely like, okay, I want to make sure that like I can render videos faster, upload them faster, maybe not have to worry about my computer eating shit and dying. Like when I try to do stuff like, render a video in the background and also still record another one.
Mm.
But yeah, as always, not enough time in the day. Because I still think about other stuff like Tabletop Simulator and stuff too, but it's also like, when do I find the time?
What is time?
I don't know. Anyway, it's like 8 o'clock here, and I'm ready to wind up. I'm going to stretch, because my arms and stuff are stiff. Yeah, I think that's the episode, basically. If you haven't already, check out Let's Talk FGO. That already will have come out by the time this comes out. And stay tuned to another What's Up next week. I will probably have gotten Remind and played it by then, so I can talk about that at least. And maybe some other stuff, who knows. Be sure to, like I said, stay tuned for future streams. Still going to stream, like I said, 1 or more 2 Ace Combats, depending on how long that takes. Whoosh. And so on and so forth. So, if you're watching this video on YouTube, go ahead and give it a like if you liked it. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also join our Discord. That link is in the description on our channel page as normal. So, that's a great way to get in touch with our community, hang out, and chat about stuff. That's also where we do all our gaming. And of course... Ugh. Hold on, let me stop yawning. Yes, if you are new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so you can always get our latest videos. And even if you're already subscribed, considering that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video or stream. Because, as we say, time is hard.
It is.
And of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early in audio format for as little as $1 a month for all our major podcasts. Get access to other videos early, participate in polls, listen to shows live, etc., etc. And like we said at the top, it just helps us be better and do better. And that's What's Up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all I can think about is Real Bomb.